What if an ancient artifact, said to hold the very presence of God, still exists today? A relic so powerful that it could level armies, strike down the disobedient, and carry the 10 Commandments. This is the Ark of the Covenant. You've probably seen it in movies like Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark, but what's the real story behind this sacred chest? The Bible describes the Ark as the dwelling place of God's presence, guiding the Israelites through their journey and ensuring victory in battle. But it also held terrifying power. Anyone who touched it without permission was struck dead, like Uzzah, who perished instantly when he tried to steady the Ark as it wobbled. So, what happened to the Ark? How could such an incredibly powerful artifact simply vanish from history? Could it still be hidden, its divine power lying dormant, waiting to be rediscovered? Or was it lost forever? So my friends, sit back and grab a snack as we dive into the mystery of the Ark of the Covenant. We'll explore its sacred power, the strict laws surrounding it, and the theories about why it disappeared. Could the answers be closer than we think? Things are about to get weird. The Ark of the Covenant is one of the most mysterious and sacred objects in the Bible. To understand its significance, we first need to look at its biblical description. The Ark was meant to be the dwelling place of God's presence among His people. God instructed Moses to build the Ark as part of the tabernacle, which the Israelites used during their wilderness journey. In Exodus 25:22, God says, "There I will meet with you, I will speak with you." This shows that the Ark symbolized God's presence with the Israelites as they traveled. In the book of Exodus, God gave Moses specific instructions on how to build the Ark of the Covenant. We find these instructions in Exodus 25:10 through 22. The Ark was constructed from acacia wood, a durable, dense wood often associated with strength and longevity. It was overlaid with pure gold, symbolizing its holiness and divine significance. The dimensions of the Ark were roughly 4 feet long, 2 feet wide, and 2 feet high, a manageable size, but one that carried immeasurable spiritual weight. Atop the Ark was the mercy seat, a golden lid that covered the Ark. This was the most sacred part of the Ark, and it was here that God's presence was said to dwell. On either side of the mercy seat were 2 golden cherubim, angelic beings with wings outstretched, guarding the presence of God. The cherubim faced each other, and their wings overshadowed the mercy seat. These angels symbolized God's divine protection and authority. The Ark was not just a physical object. It had profound spiritual and symbolic significance. Hebrews 9:4 explains what the Ark contained. It contained the gold jar of manna, Aaron's staff that had budded, and the stone tablets of the covenant. At its core, the Ark contained the stone tablets inscribed with the 10 Commandments, God's covenant with Israel. These commandments were foundational to the Israelites' relationship with God and their moral code. Inside the Ark was also Aaron's rod, which had miraculously budded, blossomed, and produced almonds, Numbers 17:8. This was a sign from God, affirming Aaron's priestly authority and the legitimacy of the priesthood. The manna, a miraculous food that God provided to the Israelites during their journey through the wilderness, was also kept inside the Ark, Exodus 16:33. This represented God's provision and care for His people, even in the harshest conditions. The Ark of the Covenant was far more than just a container for physical items. It symbolized God's covenant with the people of Israel, His promise to be with them, to guide them, and to bless them as His chosen people. The Ark served as a constant reminder of God's presence among His people. Wherever the Ark went, the Israelites knew that God's presence was with them, giving them strength, guidance, and protection. The Ark of the Covenant was not just a symbol of God's presence, it was an object of immense sacred power. Throughout the Bible, there are several stories that highlight the divine holiness associated with the Ark. These events reveal the terrifying consequences of approaching the Ark improperly and the incredible power it wielded in battles and moments of divine intervention. One of the most chilling stories regarding the Ark is the death of Uzzah, a man who was struck down instantly for touching the Ark. In 2 Samuel 6:6-7, Uzzah and his companions were transporting the Ark on a cart when it began to tip over. Uzzah, trying to steady it, reached out his hand and touched the Ark. The Bible says, "The anger of the Lord burned against Uzzah because of his irreverent act. Therefore God struck him down, and he died there beside the Ark of God." This tragic event underscores the divine holiness of the Ark. Despite Uzzah's good intentions, the act of touching the Ark was a violation of God's laws. It was a powerful reminder that God's presence was not to be treated lightly. This strict consequence also highlighted the necessity of reverence when dealing with sacred things, especially something as holy as the ark. In 1 Samuel 6:19, we read about the Philistines who, upon receiving the ark, made the fateful decision to look inside it. The Bible says, "But God struck down some of the men of Beth-Shemesh, putting 70 of them to death because they had looked into the ark of the Lord." This story shows the untouchable and hidden nature of the ark. It was not just a box, it was the dwelling place of God's presence. Looking inside was an act of irreverence, and those who did so were punished. This reinforces the idea that God's holiness cannot be approached or treated casually, even in curiosity. The ark also played a key role in the destruction of Jericho. In Joshua 6, as the Israelites prepared to take the city of Jericho, God gave them specific instructions. They were to march around the city with the ark, once a day for 6 days, and on the 7th day, march around it 7 times while the priests blew their trumpets. On the 7th time around, when the trumpets sounded, the walls of Jericho miraculously collapsed, leading to Israel's victory. This incredible event demonstrated the ark's divine power to destroy and bring about victory when wielded under God's command. The ark was God's instrument of judgment and power, and it was only through obedience to his instructions that Israel was granted victory. The ark's power was evident in many battles. In 1 Samuel 4, when the Israelites faced the Philistines, they brought the ark to the battlefield, believing it would guarantee victory. However, the misuse of the ark resulted in disaster. The Israelites lost the battle, and the ark was captured by the Philistines. The capture of the ark was a moment of humiliation for Israel, showing that God's favor was not automatically guaranteed by the presence of the ark. When the ark was mishandled or used for personal gain, it became a symbol of judgment rather than victory. The destruction of Israel's army and the capture of the ark served as a powerful reminder that the ark should be treated with reverence, and that victory depended on obedience to God's will, not just the presence of the ark itself. Given the immense power of the ark, strict rules were set in place regarding how it should be handled. According to Numbers 4:15, the ark was never to be touched directly by anyone. It was to be carried by Levites using poles inserted through rings on the ark's sides. The Levites are to carry it, and they must not touch the holy things, or they will die. This rule was in place to preserve the sanctity of the ark and prevent anyone from coming into direct contact with it. The Levites were the only tribe permitted to carry the ark, further emphasizing its sacredness and God's specific instructions on who was allowed to handle his holy relic. The ark was to be transported only in the most ritualistic and reverent manner, never to be touched by ordinary hands. The high priests were the only individuals permitted to approach the ark directly. Exodus 30:10 emphasizes the high priest's role in approaching the ark once a year, during the Day of Atonement. Aaron shall make atonement on its horns once a year with the blood of the sin offering. It is most holy to the Lord. This act of atonement was not just a ritual, it was a way of maintaining the sacredness of the ark, acknowledging its role in God's covenant with Israel, and ensuring that Israel remained in right standing with God. Only the most holy individuals, appointed by God, could come into the presence of the ark. The fate of the Ark of the Covenant has been one of the greatest mysteries in history. Despite its immense significance in the Bible, it vanished from the historical record after the Babylonian conquest. While its disappearance remains shrouded in mystery, several theories have emerged, each with its own intriguing possibilities. Let's explore some of these theories. One of the most widely discussed theories is that the Ark was destroyed or taken during the Babylonian conquest in 586 BCE. This was the year that King Nebuchadnezzar and his army sacked Jerusalem and destroyed Solomon's temple, the grand structure that housed the Ark. The Bible doesn't specifically mention the fate of the Ark at this time, but the destruction of the temple may have led to the Ark's loss. It's possible that the Babylonians, in their plunder of the temple, either took the Ark as spoils of war or destroyed it. The fall of Solomon's temple was a devastating blow to Israel, and it's plausible that such a revered object as the Ark would have been targeted in the plunder. While the Bible mentions the loss of other sacred items during the Babylonian invasion, such as the temple furnishings, it does not mention the Ark explicitly. This has led some scholars to speculate that it might have been taken by the Babylonians, either as a trophy or to be displayed as a symbol of their conquest over Israel. Another fascinating theory suggests that the Ark was hidden in Ethiopia, where it is believed to be guarded to this day. This theory is primarily linked to the Church of Our Lady Mary of Zion in Axum, Ethiopia. According to local tradition, the ark was secretly taken to Ethiopia long before the Babylonian conquest, possibly by the prophet Jeremiah or a group of priests. In Ethiopian tradition, it is believed that the Queen of Sheba traveled to Jerusalem to meet King Solomon, and upon her return, she brought the ark with her. This theory holds that the ark was eventually hidden away in Ethiopia for safekeeping, and today, it is said to be kept in the Church of Our Lady Mary of Zion in Aksum, under the protection of a single guardian monk who is the only person allowed to see the ark. Many have made pilgrimages to Ethiopia in search of the ark, but it is highly guarded and not publicly displayed, leading to a great deal of speculation. Whether or not the ark truly resides in Ethiopia remains unconfirmed, but this theory continues to intrigue believers and adventurers alike. Another possibility is that the ark was buried in Israel before the destruction of the temple, possibly hidden by the priests to protect it from capture or desecration. This theory suggests that, anticipating the fall of Jerusalem, a group of priests may have taken the ark and secretly buried it in a hidden location within the land of Israel. The idea that the ark was hidden away before the Babylonian conquest aligns with some of the apocryphal accounts, such as those in the 2 Maccabees, which is not found in the Protestant Bible but is part of the Catholic and Orthodox traditions. According to this text, the prophet Jeremiah, foreseeing the fall of Jerusalem, hid the ark in a secret location that has never been found. The hidden ark theory suggests that the priest deliberately concealed the ark to protect it from foreign invaders and preserve its holiness, awaiting a time when it could be safely recovered. Some believers even suggest that the ark remains hidden in a cave or secret chamber beneath Jerusalem, waiting to be revealed at the appointed time. While no archaeological evidence has confirmed this theory, it remains a popular idea among those who believe the ark may one day be found in Israel. The most mysterious and perhaps spiritually profound theory is that the ark was taken to heaven. This theory is largely based on the book of Revelation, specifically Revelation 11:19, which describes a vision of the heavenly temple. Then God's temple in heaven was opened, and within his temple was seen the ark of his covenant. Revelation 11:19. In this passage, the ark is described as being in God's heavenly temple, which some interpret as a divine restoration or relocation of the ark after its disappearance from earth. According to this view, the ark wasn't lost or destroyed, but was taken by God to his heavenly throne room, where it remains. This theory provides a spiritual perspective on the ark's disappearance, suggesting that the ark's ultimate purpose was not simply to remain on earth, but to serve as a symbol of God's covenant that exists beyond time and space. From this viewpoint, the ark's disappearance could be seen as part of a larger divine plan, with the ark now residing in the presence of God himself. The Ark of the Covenant was much more than a sacred box. It was a physical representation of God's covenant with his people, a constant reminder that God's presence was with the Israelites as they journeyed through the wilderness. The ark was the dwelling place of God's glory on earth, and wherever it went, God's power and protection followed. Today, the ark still matters because it symbolizes God's continued presence with his people. For Christians, the ark points to the reality that God still desires to be close to his followers, guiding them through life and offering his protection. Just as the ark was a symbol of divine favor and provision, believers today can look to their own relationship with God as a living testament to his ongoing faithfulness. The story of the ark reminds us of the holiness of God. In the Old Testament, there were strict rules about who could approach the ark and how it should be treated. Only the Levites could carry it, and no one was allowed to touch it. This speaks to the reverence and awe that God demands when coming into his presence. In today's world, these lessons still apply. Christians are called to approach God with reverence, acknowledging his holiness. The ark's sacredness serves as a reminder of the importance of faithful living, where believers are asked to treat their relationship with God with the utmost respect and devotion. Just as the ark was treated as sacred, so too should our faith be something we approach with honor and humility. The mystery surrounding the Ark of the Covenant has captured the imagination of people for centuries. From Hollywood blockbusters like Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark to books and documentaries, the Ark continues to be a symbol of mystery, adventure, and divine power. It has become an icon of legend and intrigue, inspiring countless stories and fueling the search for its lost location. Its fascination persists because it represents something beyond human comprehension, an artifact of immense spiritual significance that remains elusive. The Ark's story invites us to seek deeper understanding of our relationship with the divine, just as we are captivated by its mystery in popular culture. The search for the Ark, whether in historical, spiritual, or fictional terms, reflects humanity's desire for a deeper connection with the divine and a longing to uncover God's hidden truths. In this section, we see that while the Ark may no longer be visible, it continues to resonate today as a symbol of God's presence, a lesson in holiness, and an enduring source of mystery and fascination in our culture. It invites us to reflect on our own faith, inspiring us to draw closer to God and to live with reverence and awe for His divine power. As we've journeyed through the history and mystery of the Ark of the Covenant, we are left with profound questions to consider. Could the Ark still exist today? If it were to be discovered, what would it mean for humanity? Would it be a sign of divine favor, a call to faith, or a warning about how we've treated the sacred throughout history? The Ark's story challenges us not only to look to the past, but to reflect on how we treat the sacred in our own lives today. Does its mysterious disappearance make us more aware of the reverence required in our relationship with God? How do we honor the things that hold divine significance in our world? So comment below. What are your theories about the Ark? Could it still be out there, waiting to be discovered? Or do you think its disappearance was part of a divine plan? So my friends, as we come to an end, I want to say thank you for spending time with me today and opening up your mind. If you haven't already, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. It helps me out tremendously and motivates me. Until next time, friends, continue to explore what's out there and remember to always seek the truth.